In the context of computer protection, securing the computer's operating system itself is of great importance, of course. In this lesson, so we will focus on the most efficient way to check for Windows vulnerabilities and how to fix these vulnerabilities against hacker attacks. For this purpose, we will learn about gpedit.msc and secpol.msc. One important observation before we move on, gpedit is not available on Windows home versions. The role of gpedit.msc. So gpedit.msc is the command that opens the local group policy editor in Windows. There are two types of settings we will see in the next slide, one or two slides. It's computer settings for that affect the entire machine and user settings that affect specific users. So the local group policy editor is a management console that allows you to configure advanced system settings and administrative policies for Windows. It provides a structured interface to control Windows behavior for users and for the computer as a whole. So you have, let's see some groups of data that gpedit is delivering to us. So the first most important for our purpose is the security policies, which includes but not limited to password complexity rules, account lockout policies, firewall, and network rules, and some other issues, and we'll see it in one or two slides. So the next slides is the other group of functionalities, but they also contain some features that I considered as security features. So we are talking basically on three groups: control system behavior, restrict or allow user actions, and configure administrative templates. The last one is less relevant. The other two, for example, control system behavior, if you talking about manage Microsoft Defender settings, it's definitely part of the security configurations of Windows, specifically Microsoft Defender. And restrict or allow user actions is basically, I consider all of these sub-items as security features, like block access to the control panel, or disable USB storage, meaning that you cannot use the USB of the computer, hide settings or features from users. It's also related to security of the computer. So let's see how we access and how we use the gpedit. So to access gpedit is very simple. Use the Windows key and R key simultaneously, and then you'll get to this interface and just put the gpedit.msc, click OK, and then you will access the gpedit. We can see it here. And we can see two categories: local computer policy and below user configurations on the bottom. So let's suppose we want to check policies related to the network access. In this case, you can see that we choose computer configuration, then Windows settings, then security settings, then local policies, and then security options. Okay, you can see clearly this path on the screen. And then we can see the network access status regarding the storage of network access password, which is set to disable. This is not the correct recommended state because we don't want to store network passwords, as this will facilitate, of course, hacker attacks if they gain access to the computer. So in this case, we should change it to enable. This way, just click on this record and change it to enable in the windows that will open. And this way, we can navigate through all the settings and see if they are configured optimally. So you might ask me, how will I know which policy is the correct one? So that's a good question, of course, and there are programs on the market that analyze the settings and show the current state and then the recommended state. One of these programs, for example, is CIS-CAT. I will make a separate video for this program. And another way would be to use ChatGPT or another artificial intelligence program. I will show you in the next slide the question I asked in ChatGPT regarding the case shown in this slide and see what will happen then. So here we can see the question regarding the correct state of the policy shown in the previous slide and the recommendation to configure it as enabled. Just look on the slide and on the left side. Furthermore, ChatGPT explains the function of this policy. Further down on this, on the right side, you can see that it explains the reason why you might want to store network access password, which is against the recommended state. And as always, provide summary. Further down, it suggests showing recommended values for strengthening Windows security based on CIS. It's a program, as I said, I will demonstrate it in a separate lesson. And another program called STIG and Microsoft Hardening Guidance, which is a guide of recommendations from Microsoft. This procedure is very important to improve Windows protection against hacker attacks. Note, if you want to go directly to the security options, you can use the command secpol.msc, seccpol.msc.